So I'm watching guys do their jobs, even though this is an extremely high threat situation. And dudes are dealing with problems. But what I remember seeing, the guy just told me the helicopter crashed. And I'm like, what helicopter crashed? And I thought one of the other helos had been shot down. And he goes, bro, our helicopter crashed in the front yard. Like, you walked right past it. And I remember sort of trying to justify I'm like, well, I must have been looking this way because that's bin Laden's house. But I'm watching dudes run from different rooms to grab kids that have been separated from their families to bring them back to their families, so those kids would not be as afraid as they are right now. And I remember thinking, being proud of the guys, but then thinking that is what the good guys do.
Yeah.
Al-Qaeda's not doing that when they come to our house.
No.
You're going to shoot it out, they're going to cut people's heads off. We do that because we're the good guys. And I'm sure you've seen it in combat.
Yeah.
But now we're on the first floor, and then they breach the second floor. The woman that found bin Laden said, I don't know what it looks like inside, but there will be a stairwell going to the second floor, and you will run into Khalid bin Laden. And he's 20 years old. That's bin Laden's son, and that is his last line of defense. He will be armed on the stairwell. And she was so badass. She said, here's the way she put it. If you can ace him, you get a shot at the big guy. And that's a cool brief right there from a badass, So she was right. And it turns out she was 100% right on every single person in and out of that house.
No shit.
Nailed it. But we get to the stairwell, and it comes up and comes back. So the stairs go this way. There's a little area, and then it comes this way. And Khalid was there, and he jumped behind a banister. And I'm at this point now, because I had the front row seat to the coolest mission in modern history. I'm just watching cool guys, right? And they're going up the stairs, and he jumps back, and I'm a certain amount of guys back. And normally in an urban setting, if we're fighting up, I will pull guys out. I only want a certain amount of guys on there just to avoid unnecessary deaths if he starts dropping shit on us, like grenades and whatnot. But I figure we're going to die anyway. This goes down. And I'm just standing there. I don't have a shot. And now we're back to being quiet. And it's dark. And the point man said something like, and I'm going to fuck this up. It was something like Khalid Urfa Idek, Khalid Delta Rasha. Something like that. But it was basically come here in two different languages that he knew Khalid spoke, which I think is incredible, because I would have thought he would have pinned it, tried to get a shot off. And Khalid simply got confused. And he leaned over the thing and went, what?
No shit.
That is the coolest thing I'd ever seen in combat. How tactically savvy are you to think of doing that? Like, well, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. We might be Pakistanis here to move him. He doesn't know. I'll just call him out. And he did. So he was armed, perfectly within his rules of engagement. We step around him. We go up to the second deck, the last set of stairs. And I'd move from this point from like the eighth guy to the second guy, because everyone else went to the right and to the left, because you want to clear, obviously, the area before you move on. But now we're down to two, and we're pointing at the last set of stairs. And above it, there was a curtain. It looked kind of like a shower curtain, but it was like a green olive drab type thing. And we can see there's sort of backlit. There's people moving. And we assumed those are the suicide bombers. But bin Laden's in there. And the guy in front of me took a shot before we got there. And they're moving around. And I'm the two-man. And my job as the two-man is to hold him and wait. His job is to simply look forward. Don't drop security, and I got you. And through effective communication, when it's your time to go, I will squeeze you. It's on. I'm just telling you, through effective communication, we have enough guys. But we don't have enough guys. We're out of guys. It's two of us. And I want 4 more. I'll take 2. But he starts saying, we got to go. Come on, we got to go. He doesn't know it's me. He knows it's one of his guys. And what he's saying is those are basically suggesting those are the suicide bombers. But if we go right now, we can beat them. And I remember taking a deep breath, and it was by no means bravery on my part. It was more of okay, we're going to blow up now, and I'm tired of thinking about it. Let's fucking get it over with. So I give him the squeeze, and he goes up, and he moves the curtain, and there are 3 people standing there. He didn't have even enough time. He just jumped on them. He how he doesn't have a Medal of Honor is beyond me. He jumped on the grenade so the guy behind him could get the shot.
Damn.
So and simply because he went this way, I turned this way. And standing 3 feet in front of me is Osama bin Laden, and he's got his hands on Amal, his wife's shoulders. And I don't know what he's doing. He's not surrendering. He's maneuvering somehow. His hands are on her, and I remember thinking, he's taller than I thought. He's skinnier than I thought.
So you knew it was him as
Right
soon as
away.
you turned the corner?
Yep. His beard is gray. He's not surrendering. He's got to have a suicide belt. So I shot him twice when he was standing up. I shot him again on the floor, and then I moved Amal out of the way. So I can hear bin Laden taking his last breath. When I shot him, he fell to the foot of the bed.
Where'd you shoot him?
I shot him in the face 3 times. I moved Amal, and his 2-year-old son is now standing there. And this is the humanity of everything. This kid has got nothing to do with this. I'm a father, and I picked him up, and I moved him to the back of the bed, and she'd been shot, and I turn around and. I kind of froze, and I'm okay. Other Navy SEALs are now coming in the room. A lot of guys are in there, and one of my guys came up to me and he said, "Are you good?" And I said, "No. What are we supposed to do now?" And he said, "Now we find the computers. We do this every night, hundreds of times." And I said, "Yeah, you're right. I'm back. Holy shit!" And he said to me, "Yeah, you just killed Osama bin Laden. Your life just changed. Get to fucking work." And so we did. They started. We actually took. We do have pictures of bin Laden. It's actually my gloves in there, putting his head together for the picture, dumping water on him, and like it was. I think the pictures haven't been released because it's one of those things where you really don't need to know how justice looks when it's served. It just is.
So those pics on the internet?
They're fake. It's split from he's split from here to here.
Okay.
I mean, he got hit 3 times with I'm shooting 77 grain hollow point at 3 feet.
Oh.
It's a devastator.
Yeah.
And so they're dressing him up. Guys are doing SSC, and I went down to the sensitive site exploitation. We're finding intel. I went down to the 2nd floor. I had 2 other dudes with me, and we're going through. Now we found these huge offices with I'm talking computers, hard drives, like the old school towers. We're pulling big kit bags from underneath the bed, and we're opening them. And I thought it was freeze-dried steaks, and it's like, wow, these guys are in it for the long haul. And it's like, wait a minute, no, this is raw opium. They're trying to make money off this, and so we're finding all that shit. And we were finding so much stuff from pictures to hard drive. Like we're cracking those open, pulling the hard drives, CDs, papers, handwritten letters, and we're just shoving it into these. It was to the point where we wanted 32 minutes on the floor. I think we were there for 47, and now it's like, okay, come on, let's leave, let's get the fuck out of here. I went back upstairs. I helped 3 other SEALs we carried bin Laden down all the stairs we just came up. And I remember yelling at guys, fuck them. We're leaving. Get out. We're figuring this out. Outside, I think the ground force commander coordinated a way for another bird to come in to get us. We're going to put him on our bird. The first team's going out on that. They're going to go refuel with another bird on a mountaintop. We went out with the body. We actually sat it down next to the lead sniper from the Captain Phillips raid and said, "Here's your guy." And he looked down and he goes, "You got to be shitting me." I'm like, "No, we got him." He goes, let's fucking leave. So they took off with them. We went around to the other, I think it's to the east side of the compound. We're calling in 47, but we don't, like I said, we don't have our CCT guys. So we're calling it in and we're rusty.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing there's a guy on Twitter who was tweeting. He was live tweeting, why would they be doing helicopter operations on a Sunday or some weird shit? And I remember seeing him thinking, if we were in Iraq, I'd blast this dude because he's outside of a target with a phone. But we're in Pac. They have no fucking idea that we're here. So then we're calling this bird in, and I remember we're saying, hey, so we have to blow up the bird inside. We're going to leave it. We're blowing it up. But I asked someone, I was like, what was the time fuse on that thing? And they're like, well, I'm like, holy shit, abort. We had to actually call off the bird coming in to get us because we were going to blow it out of the sky. So they aborted and turned. Then the fucking thing blew up. I'm like, we almost just blew our own helicopter out of the sky. Then they came back in. We get on that thing and then we take off. And now we're leaving. Now on a mission where we're supposed to die, but now we're leaving. And if we can live for another 90 minutes, if we can cross the border to Afghanistan, we get to see our kids again. We get to live another 50 years. But they got to know we're here, and they could shoot us down, probably with an F-16 that we sold them, the Packies. But worrying about that is not going to stop it. So I'm not going to worry. So we're sitting there in this bird. I have the lead sniper from the Captain Phillips raid. There was a weird thing with jealousy when this sniper initiated the fire, because sometimes when people are so close to doing something, they get angry. And they were giving him a lot of shit talking about firing. And I remember saying to him at work after the Phillips raid, hey man, don't pay attention to that shit. You're a fucking hero. Don't you ever forget it. Take a Copenhagen from me. Take mine. You're a hero. And I would remind him that he was going through a really rough time. We're sitting on this bird flying out, and I'm trying to absorb what the fuck just happened. And I see this Copenhagen coming in front of my nods. And he said, take one of mine. Now you know what it feels like to be a fucking hero. Which is just insane. A dude next to me from the other squadron, Blue Squadron that was there, he's from New York, and he asked a question that every SEAL asked when they found out bin Laden was dead. He said, who got him? And I said, I think I did. And he said, on behalf of my family, thank you. So now it's deep, and we gotta, can't worry about the shit. So we just start our watches, and so we're counting. We gotta live the 90 minutes, but it's been 10 minutes. Now it's been 20 minutes. Now it's been 30 minutes. And now it's 40 minutes, 50 minutes. We got to get to 90 minutes, but it's been 60 minutes.